It's currently 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve, and I thought to myself, hey, what better time than to make a tier list? There's no MMA going on right now, and that's going to stay like that for what, a month? And everyone, or I see a lot of people making tier lists now, making rankings. There's not much to post about. MMA Guru, I mean, he's fell off the rafters. I He's posting shit about Andrew Tate now. Uh, Lucas Tracy, he ran away to Peaches and Creamville. MMA Joey. I actually saw him at the local Krispy Kreme. I'm not even joking. But yeah, there's not much to post. So I'm gonna make a ranking. I've always wanted to do this. Uh, and I want to do something a little different because most of the rankings are mm, like best pay-per-views. What are some of the ones I don't even know? But yeah, I'm gonna do ranking every single fight night of the year. And that's gonna be a little hard because as you can see right here, I got S through F. So I'm gonna be putting Fight of the Nights as an F. So the way I thought about this is when I watch these fights, I think you guys know I'm not gonna fucking explain myself. We'll go with the first one. Let me close my eyes. Which one we got? Umar Nurmagomedov versus, I'm not putting in a D by the way, but Marab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Oh, and by the way, I have not watched any of these fights back, so this is all from memory. And I think this fight was in January, it's in the beginning of the year. But I do remember it quite well. I made a video on this, got a good amount of views. Accused it of being a robbery. It was a very close fight. Now, where would I put it? Ah, not S. Hmm. I think I'm gonna put it at B. Now have to explain myself, which is the hard part. Why am I putting it at B? It was I liked it more because I mean we got the emoting from Marab, but Marab was not supposed to win this fight. He was like plus 250. He was counted out, which if you're a huge underdog, if you're not supposed to win, and then the fight is a banger, or it's close, or that's gonna elevate the ranking of the fight of the night. But I loved how tech. Okay, the first two rounds, Umar striking. I loved Umar striking, how technical it was. Walled Marab, and then Marab snowballed down the hill, and he took over, and he started emoting, and it was a fucking awesome fight. However, there's better fights on this list, so I'm gonna put out a beat. I hope this video is not too long, but it's gonna be long. Next fight. Hey, the most recent fight. Sean Shaw versus Steven Asplund. I know there's gonna be recency bias, but I'm remembering when I'm watching this fight live, and I was going crazy. I was in the MMA Guru watch along. This is at least an A. Is in S because now I'm thinking like what should be S? Should I only put one fight at S, fight of the, and that would be like my fight of the year? Because like honestly, I don't see how this fight could get much better. Maybe if Shroff did some more damage instead of being a punching bag, but he did hit Aspen with some good shots, mostly to the body. It's just like you're hitting what is it, one of those water bags? It's not gonna do shit to Asplund. But yeah, I fucking this fight was. I think this was most significant strikes in a heavyweight fight, which is crazy. Um, Might have been like one of the most significant strikes in a three rounder as well. I might be wrong on that, but this was a crazy fight. Asplund is, I think he has potential star status. His first fight in the UFC, fight of the night. I don't. I want to think like why is this not S? I guess how I explained it. Maybe it feels a little more even, but it was still an awesome fight. And I don't want to put too many S's because I'm seeing on the list right now, and I could. Ah man, nah. I'm not gonna do just one on S. I'm gonna do a couple. I don't want to do too many. Okay. Ryan dos Santos, Alice Ardeleon. I remember watching this fight and saying, "Hold on, this is actually this is actually a pretty good fight. Even though it's a women's fight, it's a good fight." However, for compared to all these fights, it's gonna win the F tier. Um, Honestly, I don't even remember too much of this fight. I just remember watching it live. I was like, "This is actually a good ass fight." And when I got fight of the night, I was like, "Hey, that's pretty deserved. Fair play. It was a good ass fight." But there was no. Another thing about fight of the nights is like if it's a hyped up fight, like if it's a big time fight like this, it's probably gonna go higher in the rankings. So if this was like a big like a main event or pay per view or something, it would probably go higher. But since it's two bottom of the rankings of women's last lowest weight division, like you know, still it's a fight of the night. We're comparing the best of the best. All right, let's pick another one. Julian Rosa, Melky Costa. Is this C? Because like I kind of want to put this at B. No, I'm gonna leave it at C because I don't think it was as good as this fight. This was an awesome fight. Melky Costa is becoming one of my new favorite fighters. I think he's won like four fights this year, which is crazy because I remember I had my eye on this guy early on. I have an eye for talent. Got subbed on his debut to Moises, and then his next fight, I think it was Austin Lingo, and I was, people are like, it's Austin Lingo. I remember MMA Guru specifically saying that. I think after that Lingo fight, he picked against Costa. I was like, this he's like not that good. It's Lingo. But I remember watching that fight. I'm like, damn, this guy very good striking. He's one to watch. And now look where he is. This has nothing to do with the ranking system, so I don't even know why I said that. But about the fight, I mean, it was an awesome striking fight. Um, there's not much more to say. I don't think it was as good as these two. I think again, maybe if it was a little more even, I remember it kind of being like it was mostly Costa, but Arosa was it wasn't as one sided as this fight, the Shroff fight. Costa or Arosa was putting in some good work as well, but I think he lost every round, and I think Arosa was getting rocked a little bit, which adds to the fight. I just don't think it was as good as these two fights, so I'm gonna put it at C. But again, it was a fucking awesome fight. And these, even Arosa, like these two are like most must watch fighters. Let's go to the next one. I'm gonna close my eyes and pick. Okay, this is Usman Buckley. When I was putting the pictures below, so I had to like research what was a fight of the night of each card. I couldn't believe this was a fight of the night. What I remember from this fight, okay, I remember this fight was hype as fuck. Like I was so excited for this fight. The to the build up, all the way to the stare down. Like when they're announcing the fighters in the arena. But what I remember is the first 4 rounds was just it was this picture. Buckley just couldn't stop the shot. The fifth round was good, like because Buckley stayed on his feet and he was getting Usman, and it was too little, too late. So that was hype. But I don't believe that was. I can't believe that was a fight of the night. I don't remember any other fights that would have deserved to be fight of the night. I do remember seeing like this fight as one of the worst fight nights of the year. So that's probably why maybe there wasn't a lot of competition, but still, this is definitely F. I would, honestly, it's probably a worse fight than the ladies' fight. It's just this is more hyped matchup. This is probably the worst fight in the whole this whole tier list. To be honest, yeah, 100% it has to be. Next fight. This is S, 100%. This is Sadikov Mota. It was such a good fight. Both of these guys got the fight of the night and performance of the night. Mota got knocked out and he got performance of the night. Has that any ever happened before? I don't remember. This was, I think it was a round and a half of straight action, and I want to say why this was like when I was watching it live, why it was so crazy was also because Mota was supposed to lose. I've always thought of him as no offense, as a bum. Like I thought he was ass. I thought he was lucky to be in the UFC. Um, he was getting dominated by Trey Ogden, and then he had like the retarded ref. He was in a submission that he probably would have got choked out, or but the ref pulled him off early, so it was a no contest. If he would have lost that, probably would have been cut. But he was given another chance in fair play. He beat Mahashate, but I was like, still, Mahashate is not really good. So I was like, I don't this Mota guy. I don't think he's very good. But this fight was fucking crazy in the body because I love body shots. Let me make sure my audio is doing okay. The body shots, and he hurt Sadikov. Sadikov was this killer who was like 5-0 at the time, maybe 4-0. I think it was 5-0, and the crowd was going berserk. Maybe they're a little silent because it was in Sadikov's hometown, but he literally hurt Sadikov and unleashes like 70 strikes on the fence. But Sadikov's weaving, blocking, has a good guard. Sadikov has a great guard. Yeah, this fight was fucking crazy, especially because I was like, no fucking way this is happening. No way Mota's about to finish him. But he doesn't. And I was like, uh oh. And then Sadikov comes back and he throws a fucking head kick, and it was an insane fight. Definitely one of the fights of the year. It might be my fight of the year. We'll see how this tier list goes. Yeah, crazy ass fight. Sadikov eventually knocks him out. Both guys go home with 100K. Fair play. And Mota, I have respect for him now, and I want to watch him fight again. And I don't think he's a bum anymore. Next fight. This is another S tier. Royval Van. I think this is many people's fight of the year. Honestly, it might be mine as well because it was 3 rounds, lasted the whole. I don't have to say much about this fight. I think we all know about this fight. Crazy ass fight. Um, what was it? Was it the most significant strikes in a UFC fight? Or a 3 rounder at least, I think. Joshua, both of these guys, again, these two are must watch fighters. I just remember watching this live. Oh, shit. Fuck. I remember watching this live, and I'm like telling my friend, like, this Van guy is crazy. He's like, no, bro, no. I was like, let me put you on real quick. And then he does that, and he's like, hey, yeah, you're right. Now he's many people's one of their favorite fighters. Same with Royval. It's just an amazing fight. I don't have much more to say. we all know how this fight was. I'll put it above because it was 3 rounds of action. This was shorter. Next fight will be hmm. This is Mark Andre Barrio and Shar Magomedov. I'm going to put it at D, and that might be wrong. The only reason for some reason, I don't really remember this fight. I think I was like really sleepy during this fight, so I don't remember. I do remember like what is this guy's name? Shar Bullet Magomedov. I'm calling him Shar Bullet. I remember his nose getting flattened, which was like the hype is part of the fight because oh my god, this is Sharp Bullet, and he got his nose flattened by Marc Andre, who's honestly he's not the best, but he brings scraps here and again. He gets knocked out, but he has some good knockouts too. But he's just above bottom feeder, and Sharp Bullet is he was a ranked fighter, and you've seen his nose. We never saw him got hurt before really, and we saw his nose flattened, which was pretty crazy. I do remember Charbel also, I think specifically the third round, wobbling Marc Andre with like a knee. But yeah, I know this was a good fight. I just for some reason I don't remember it that much. I remember I was like really sleepy during the fight. I should have probably watched it back, but I'm not going to. Sorry. But I'm not gonna do I'll imagine I watched every single one of these. I think there's almost 30 fights here. How many hours of fights is that? I'm gonna do all that shit and then I get 5 views. Fuck that. But I have pretty good memory, so it's all right. Next fight will be oh, Yand and Marab. Dude, I'm putting this at S. I'm putting this at S. It may be recency bias, but I'm remembering my reaction when watching this fight, and I was standing up the whole time, and I was giggling, screaming, crying. I don't know why I was crying, but I was crying, laughing, all the emotions I had watching this fight because number one, Peter Yan was not supposed to win. No one thought he was going to win, which adds to the hype because holy shit, he's doing so good. He's winning. Um, and Yan, he's when he's on, he's so fun to watch, and just like the body kicks because I love body shots, and he has this left body kick and he hits Marab in the liver and he screams. I've never seen that before, and I was laughing so hard, like that shit was so awesome. I know I heard, but like I know it's weird. Why am I laughing at that? But dude, that shit was insane, and just the whole fight, I loved it, and yeah, it was absolute war. I think it's S tier. I might no, I honestly I don't think I'm wrong with. I've seen many people put this I like as one of the fights of the year. I just love how technical it was, but also it was like a great performance as well because I know how hard that is to do against Marab, and Marab like being visibly hurt by the body shots and him screaming like ah, that shit was crazy. Like I yeah. Next fight that is um Nate Landwehr, that's my boy Nate the Train, and Morgan Charrier. I actually watched this fight pretty recently because I missed this card and I was very late to watching it. I saw this fight like maybe 3 weeks ago, and this was in July, I think. I'm gonna Nate the Train. If you're watching this, I love you. I'm gonna put it at D. I remember the first round was nothing crazy. I think it was actually pretty slow. And the second round, I think it picked up towards the end of the second round, and Nate the Train was starting to emote, and that's when Nate the Train starts emoting, that's when he's in his groove. Nate the Train was picking it up, and then like in the after the bell, he was like, ah, oh, in the third round, it was a crazy finish. I it was of course, it was a good fight. I just don't think it was better than these or on this level. And yeah, it definitely wasn't better than the Share Bullet fight. So I'm gonna put it on a low D. I might be remembering it wrong, but and maybe it was not as hyped because I already knew the result. I already knew that Sharyr won, so that might have affected things. But oh well. Next fight will be Jack Della Bilal Muhammad. This one is hard. Fuck. I think I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I'm gonna put it on a high C tier. Probably the top of C tier. I've seen many people put this out as the fight of the year. I don't blame them, but I think the reason like many people have this as one of the top fights of the year is because it was Bilal getting beat up, and a lot of people hate Bilal, so they enjoyed his pain. I'm one of the only Bilal fans. Would I even consider myself a fan? Like, I think his personality, I think he's actually kind of funny. His fight style is also kind of funny, you could argue. Yeah, but I had him picking. I picked him to win, and I made a video about it. So then I was like, oh, so I kind of wanted him to win to be right. So maybe that's why I wasn't as like hyped. I remember the fifth round was fucking crazy though. Because Jack was putting on those crazy combos. Yeah, I don't know if it was as good as this fight as the Marab and Umar fight. I might switch this to B, but as of right now, I'm gonna put this at high C. Again, it was an awesome fight. This is probably the most controversial pick I've made so far, but I did it. Next fight, Rebovix and my boy Elvis Brenner. B tier. Yeah, this was. I love Elvis Brenner. I love me some Rebovix. This was an awesome fight. I wanted Brenner to win because I don't know. He's just one of those guys. I really like him. But yeah, this was in the apex, and you could hear all the shots, and it was just a typical Rebovix fight. Just awesome boxing. Brenner was kind of getting beat up. Again, this is probably controversial because you could probably say like, no way, this is better than this fight, the Bilal fight, or maybe even some of these other fights. But and you could argue like this was pretty one sided, and I'm saying like, why is this fight not up here? And so what? I don't know. Like to me, when I wanted Brenner to win because for some reason I just really like him. When I have like guys I really like fighting, it's gonna make it more interesting for me. And so when he lands a shot, I'm gonna get more hyped. So that was what was happening in this fight. So yeah, that's why I had it at B. I actually thought at the time this fight was better than the other fight on that card, which I'll pull it up right now. Let me find it. It was where the fuck is it? Here it is. Chris Duncan and what the hell is this guy's name? Rebecca. I'm putting this is too many at S, but I'm putting this at the end of S. This fight was fucking insane. And I think at the time why I wasn't as hyped was because I was watching this with my friends and like my friend from college who I hadn't seen in a minute. We're at his house, we're watching it, and I'm like, I literally said like, I bet my life that Rebecca smokes Duncan. Duncan is not. He's not that good. He's. I don't know how he's won three in a row. I don't know how this is close odds. Rebecca's gonna smoke him. And then I was like totally wrong. Even though I thought maybe Rebecca could have won, but that's probably why I wasn't as hyped. But I just remember like at the end of the fight, and Rebecca's like on his hands and knees, and there's just blood like a faucet just going, just dribbling on the canvas. And I like turn around, and my friend's like, oh. So like that's like a core, that's like a deep memory I have. Honestly, one of the memories of the year. So that's why I'm putting it at S. And again, like I thought Duncan had no chance, and then how good he fought and how crazy this fight was. I don't like this visual how there's four S's and then one A. So I might put it down A. We'll see how this list turns out, but we'll go to the next fight. Another Rebecca fight and Ludovic Klein. Oh, I'm going to put this at D. Maybe controversial, but I'll tell you why. To me, this fight was Rebecca being a human punching bag for the first two rounds. I think he literally got wobbled 5 times. This was more like a performance of the night or a performance bonus type of fight for Klein because of how fucking good he looked. But then Rebecca, tough as hell. Let me just say something about Rebecca first of all. I think, first of all, I think he's had 5 fights where he's had like an insane amount of damage. Let me actually count. This Klein one, um, the Chris Duncan one, the Oral by fight, Carlos Diego Ferreira, all those fights, insane amount of damage. I'm thinking there might be another one as well. I might be wrong. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's four. That's crazy. And all those were fight of the nights, right? Maybe three of them were fight of the nights. He's a beast. And also, I forgot to say about my boy Elvis Brenner. Can we give him a bot, please? Can we give him a fucking bot? Well, he had um Oral by Joel Alvarez and Ribovics in a row. Can we give him a fucking bot, please? He's lost three in a row. He's a beast ass fighter. Come on, let's help him out a little bit. But yeah, back to the Klein Rebecca fight. I think this was more like a beatdown, but it was fun to watch, of course. And then the third round, it was Klein broke his. Actually, Rebecca was like doing well, and he takes Klein down, and Klein breaks his foot. Oh, but we didn't know it at the time. And then it was just Rebecca on top, hitting him with crazy elbows towards the end. And then we realized, holy shit, Rebecca Klein's foot was broken. If Rebecca just stood up, which he should have, he should have because he would have lost. So his only chance was by finish. If he stood up, he would have won. But yeah, I don't. I think this was one of the weaker fight of the nights out of all these fights. But again, it's a fight of the night. Every single one of these fights you should watch. Except this one, the Usman fight, not very great. But yeah, next fight, what did I choose? Okay, we're gonna have some. No, 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 no. Yuri and Roundtree. I was about to say we're gonna have to switch up the S tier because I was about to put this on S. I'm putting it at A, and I'll tell you why. The first two rounds, it was Roundtree domination, but it was at a slower pace. It was kind of like Roundtree and his Jamal Hill performance, but it was more activity, a little more pace and intent in Roundtree strikes, which eventually got him tired. In the third round, he gassed out, and the third round was fucking insane. And that's why this is, though it was like really one of the rounds of the year, but I have to judge the whole fight. So that's why I'm not putting it at S, because all these fights, every single round was insane. But yeah, the reason I'm not putting it at S, the first two rounds, they were awesome rounds. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't insane. It was like, holy shit, Yuri's getting beat up. Wow. But it wasn't like a lot of damage. It was just, holy shit, Yuri's getting beat up. And Roundtree's looking awesome. But I was like, A, Roundtree my gas, and he did. Because the third round was one of the rounds of the year. But many people have this as fight of the year. So that's why it might be controversial. All right. Next fight that I'm picking. Okay. Vittori Allen. I'm going to put this in the F. Is it ahead of Ryan Dos Santos? Yeah, I'll put it ahead because it's bigger guys. The shots are more powerful. But don't get me wrong, this was a good fight, of course. But this should not have even been fight of the night. Like, this was not the best fight on the card. This was on the Max Holloway Dustin Poirier fight. You could argue that could have been fight of the night. But for some bizarre reason, Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez was on the same card and they did not get the fight of the night. And that was a crazy ass fight. That fight was way better than this one. I don't know how it didn't get fight of the night, especially because Kevin Holland, let's be real, he has Dana White privilege. I can't believe that wasn't fight of the night. That fight was crazy, especially because D-Rod was not supposed to win that, and he fucking did. And that was the first time Kevin Holland ever got dropped. It was insane. So that's kind of why I'm putting this at F. Also, it all these fights were better than the Allen Vittori fight, but this was still it was a good fight. Like watching it live, I was like, this is underrated fight. But yeah, shouldn't have even been fight of the night. Next fight. Let me close my eyes. Okay, Lopez Silva. Ah, damn, I'm putting this at A. The only okay, this was from pillar to post. This fight was bizarre. This is crazy fight. Mm. Why is it not S though? I have to say why. Stoppage. I was kind of like disappointed at the stoppage. I don't know. Maybe it was because I wanted the fight to keep going. Um, but then like I'm also like how short it was. It was only like a round and a half, I think. But then this was also a round and a half, and I have it at S. So why is this at A? The first round, it was mostly Lopez, just on top of John Silva. But then he also made his head like a look like the fucking moon. He had craters in his head from elbows. Why is this not an S? Why is it not an S for me? I don't know. I was like kind of mad at the stoppage. I don't even know why, because I think it was a good stoppage. I was just pissed off that it didn't keep going. I wanted to see more. So, because for that reason, I'm gonna have it A. But yeah, this was a crazy ass fight. Every Jacob Lopez and Gene Silva fight is a crazy ass fight. Next fight, let me just pick one. Julius Walker and Alonzo Menafield. This was a very ugly fight. I don't know why I really like this fight, but I'm gonna put it at the end of D. I can't put it higher because of how ugly it was, and it was just mostly, honestly, it was like mostly clinching. Not mostly, it was actually mostly clinching. But I like this fight a lot because Julius Walker was an unknown, and on short notice, he's facing a ranked fighter, and he went toe to toe with him, took some massive shots, and the fight was so grueling. The guys, both of them gassed out in like the first round, but it was still like it was like a shit fight, but it was really fun to watch. But I just can't put it much higher. I was about to put it in F, but I was like, nah. Just because it's an ugly fight doesn't mean it's a bad fight. It was just a such a grueling fight. Both guys got hurt multiple times. Walker's like he has a dog in him. Even his next fight, Walker, it was kind of the same thing. So I think this is like an underrated guy to watch. But yeah, I'm just gonna start picking. This was Ribovics and Hakparast. Yeah, this was an insane fight as well. I'm gonna put it at the end of B, right next to Ribovic's other fight. He's a consistent fighter. Every single one of his fights is a barn burner. Um, I don't have much to say. Like, why is it not higher? Why is it not lower? My reasoning is like I don't have a reason. It was just like an awesome fight. But was it fight of the year? No. Was it an F tier? No. Um, it was insane last second where Ribovics rocks Hackprast, gets him jelly legged with the high kick. That might be his weakness, by the way, Hackprast's high kick. Because of Sal killed, but I'm trying to think like why do I put it at B? I don't know. I don't know. It was an awesome fight. I don't it was just like a out of all these fights it was average, but it was awesome. But yeah, it was just crazy boxing. Rivervix was getting beat up in the beginning. People say this was a robbery. It wasn't. Hackpress for sure won the first 2 rounds, but anyway, we'll go to the next. I don't know how long I've been going for, but probably a minute. Vinicius Oliveira, Said Nurmagomedov. I'm going to put this middle of C. Maybe a little higher than it should because I love Lokdog and I really wanted him to win. This was kind of an ugly performance, but it was also hype because of how good Lokdog was doing and he was pushing the pace. And he actually I think he had a broken rib. He said in the post fight. He said it was like maybe boring, but nah, I got fight of the night. Um, Man, I gotta get some more details. What I remember is Side was doing like crazy kicks, but eventually he gassed out, and then Lockdog with his hands down style pushes up against the fence and was hitting him with awesome shots and takes him down. It was just a really scrappy fight, but I really liked it. I love those types of fights, and especially again, kind of like the Elvis Brenner. I really like Vinicius Oliveira. So when I watch my fighters that I really like and I want to win, it's going to elevate the fight. So that's why it's maybe higher than it should. Next fight, RoboCop, Cannonier. This has to be an at least B. Ah, fuck. I want to put it at A because this is, if you actually think about it, this is an insane comeback. But for some reason, like I wasn't as hyped watching this live as I should have been, considering how crazy of a comeback it was. So that's why I'm gonna put it at high B tier. Cannonier was getting, dude. I need water. If you're watching this, I doubt people are fucking watching this right now. But if you're watching this, it is hard talking for 40 minutes straight. Like I need some fucking. I'm gonna push through though. But anyway, Cannonier was getting murked in the first round. He got dropped 2 times. RoboCop was little broing him. He looked like a monster because he's big as fuck. But Jared Cannonier, crafty vet, underrated fighter. All of his fights are fucking bangers. Comes back, RoboCop gasses, and he finishes RoboCop. But it was an insane comeback. That's why I have it at where it's at. Why it's not higher, it probably should be higher, but I'm basing this off of what how hype I was watching this, and I don't know why I wasn't. I was way more hype watching these fights. Honestly, if I'm gonna base this, then I should probably put this fight at the top of B, and this fight right here. So yeah, okay, I switched Ribovix and Brenner to the top of B because I was hype as fuck watching that. Next fight, we have Randy Brown, and Nicholas Dalby. Fuck. This was a crazy fight, but I feel like it was more like the knockout that made it so special. No, no, but Dalby dropped him. Dalby fucking dropped him as well. Ah, fuck. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this in, I guess, the endish tier of B. Yeah, this was a crazy fight. I've said that every single fucking time, huh? This is a crazy fight. This was a marvelous fight. Dalby got knocked out. He never. I don't think he'd ever been finished before. Definitely not. He'd never been knocked out before. I'm sure of that. He just goes face first, breaks his nose. He broke his nose. That was hype. Yeah, Randy Brown was piecing him up, but he also got dropped. And this was, I think, from the first minute. This was, I think it was his first round. Maybe not. Actually, maybe it might have been second round. But every minute was insane. I don't know why I'm not putting it higher. Maybe I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm just putting it. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Next fight: Rongju and Cody Steele. I want to put this at S. I'm gonna be real, dude. This honestly, this should be an S tier fight, but I'm putting it in A because I don't want too many S tier fights. But this should be an S tier fight. This is literally the most underrated fight of the year because it was in the prelims in the Australia pay per view. And another reason I really like this fight is because Rongju was supposed to lose. He was facing undefeated killer Cody Steele, and Rongju, he literally threw both of these guys threw 100% power every single strike. Rongju wobbles the fuck out of Cody Steele. At the end, they're doing the point down and they're throwing like Max Holloway and Gaethje. And Rongju looks so good in this fight. Why, dude, this should be an S. This literally should be S here because I'm like, how could this fight be any better? It literally couldn't. This fight, it could not have been better. Maybe if both guys got like wobbled more, but ah, like I think maybe I should switch it with the Chris Duncan fight. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put Chris Duncan and Rebecca at A, and I'm gonna switch it with Cody Steele and Rongju. And I'm putting this fight down to A is because I'm talking about Duncan and Rebecca fight because literally I thought at the time that Elvis Brenner fight was better. But I was just mad. I was just mad. Yeah, next fight we'll do Gaethje Fiziev. This is going to be controversial. I know. I think this. I don't even remember other fights on this card. What card was this? Gaethje Fiziev 2. I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember. So I can't say like I feel like there was better fights on the card because I don't remember, and I'm not gonna look it up now because I don't want to. I remember like thinking like this fight wasn't like fight of the night level. It was just because it was Gaethje, so it's like, oh, we have to give him a fight of the night because the fight was supposed to be good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a good fight. He dropped Fiziev, which was insane because I don't Fiziev has an iron chin, never been dropped before. I just remember like it being not at the level that I thought it would be at. Maybe that's Gaethje's fault because every single one of his fights is insane. But I don't think I remember the fight not being like amazing, and I was like, oh wow, I got fight of the night. That's kind of weird. Honestly, I could. The only reason I'm not putting it at F is because of Fiziev getting dropped. Damn, I have it below this fucking Julius Walker fight. Yeah, yeah, no, on yeah, yeah. I was kind of getting hyped up with this fight, so yeah, 100%. This was more of an aura fight, like, but when it got announced, like, oh. Next fight. We're almost there, guys. Please keep watching. Drew Dober, Kyle Prepelec. I am going to put this. This feels wrong, but I'm going to put it at the top of F. For some reason, oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm putting it at the top of F. I like this fight a lot. I just can't put it ahead of any of these other fights. Especially, I feel like I like this fight more so because like of the drama of like the ball sack kick. But is that fair to include in the fight of the night? Because it's not even a fighting. It's just like you got kicked in the nuts and it's like kind of funny. And then it's a 5 minute break. But I mean, yeah, that's part of the fight, I guess. I I remember the first round was not anything crazy. And the second round, it picked up because Kyle Prepelic won the round. And I was like, holy shit. And then the third round, he was doing really good again. And then he got kicked in the nuts really bad. And then he got finished from it. But like, I like those kind of fights where it's like, oh, wow, Kyle Prepelic's supposed to lose. And then he does really well. And then, oh, there's some drama with the nutsack. And then, oh, the finish. So I really like the fight. I just can't put it ahead of these other ones. So I'm put at F. Next fight, Chris Curtis Kopilov. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the C for sure. I'm gonna put it at the end of C. This was maybe higher than it should be because I really like Chris Curtis. Again, I'm like maybe one of his only fans. A lot of people seem to hate him, but I love his style, his boxing style, his body shots. I said Curtis would win, and it looked like he was gonna win. And then the drama with the Kopilov head kick, it shouldn't have been stopped. But even so, the whole fight was pretty good. I really enjoyed it because I thought like towards the middle and the end, Curtis was doing really well with the boxing, and I love his style. So maybe again, that's probably why it's higher than most people would have on their list. Yeah, solid fight between all these ones. And the last fight, let's end it good. Diego Lopez Volkanovski. Where am I going to put this? Mm, I'm going to put this in C, right behind. I want it behind Bilal Muhammad. Wait, where did it go? Oh, no, there you go. That's the right spot. Uh, for some reason, I don't remember being like insanely going crazy in this fight, but there was a lot of crazy moments. But maybe that was because it was 5 rounds, so that's not really fair. I'm not. I'm okay with this though. I think most people will have it there, especially because everyone says because they're rematching and everyone hates it. So I this based on everyone's reaction, this would be an F, right? Because no one wants to see this fight again for some reason, except me, because this is a fucking awesome fight. No one wants to see it, so it can't be higher. This is my final list. Let me review it real quick. Doesn't make sense. The Gaethje, I'm a stick by it. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Mm. Yeah, no, I'm happy with this. Mm. No, mm. Fuck it. No, I'm for the most part I'm happy with this. Maybe the order of some of the bouts could be fixed, but other than that, this is pretty accurate. I actually don't think this is fight of the night or fight of the year. I honestly have this is probably recency bias, but would have this Peter Yan and Billy 2 as fight of the year, and I would have this um Mota fight as the second one. This is like the Ballon d'Or. Number one, number two, number three, number four. This is a pretty solid list, though. If you watched this whole thing, thank you. Please like and subscribe. And I might make more of these. What should I comment below? What should I make next? Should I do hottest fighters, most chopped fighters, fighters I think have the smallest meat? Um, those are the only three I could think of. Of course, there's like the worst events and or ranking the events. I might do that, but yeah, comment down below. Thank you for watching.